So I was going to write a book called 3 Stories About Capitalism, The Moral Psychology of Economic Life. I got a contract for it. I got an advance on it. I have a lot of notes. I did travel. And then I got overwhelmed by what's happening in universities and to Gen Z. But the gist of it was going to be that any good society needs dynamism and decency. And the left is always a witness for decency and is willing to sacrifice dynamism. So progressive economies dominated by progressives tend to be pretty sclerotic, not very dynamic. Conservatives, and here we mean more libertarian or economic conservatives, not social conservatives, are really focused on dynamism, and they're willing to sacrifice some decency. Many will say, no minimum wage at all. If someone wants to work for $2 an hour, they should be allowed to. And they are able to deliver a lot more dynamism. And we see that, for example, in Chile. When Chile embraced free market economics, it shot up to prosperity. So, learning about business, learning about capitalism has made me much more sympathetic to libertarian arguments, to free market arguments. And then the thing to look out for is market failures, where companies can prey upon people. So, I once heard a libertarian philosopher say, something like, an ideal capitalist society is one in which the only way you can get rich is by making other people better off. And he's right. Now, in our society, you can get very rich creating Facebook, which is doing enormous damage to children, to democracy. But it's because its business model, it's not quite a monopoly, but it's dominant. It certainly has information asymmetry. They know everything. We don't know what's going on there. It certainly has exploitation of public goods, which is the limited attention of the entire human population. And it certainly has very heavy external costs that it imposes on people, which Mark Zuckerberg denied in his Senate testimony, but the data is very clear about the harms, I believe. So we certainly want a free market society, but it does have to be one in which there are government agencies and journalism and other things that are able to find these exploitative market failures that cause harm and change things to rein them in.